Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating digital community that is rooted deeply in biblical teaching. We are taking a closer look at a program called the Empower Hour, specifically zooming in on their all-access membership. Whether you're personally looking for some solid spiritual direction, or you're just kind of curious about how modern online ministries are structuring deep theological learning, well, you are exactly where you need to be.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with a welcome to Empower Hour, break down their 3 pillars of faith, explore the deep dives and archives, take a look at the all-access experience, and finally, focus on finding real biblical clarity.
Section 1. Welcome to Empower Hour, hosted by Pastor Brian Holmes.
In a digital age where it is just incredibly easy to stumble into sensational internet hype or, frankly, shallow advice, pastor and empowerment life coach Brian Holmes takes a refreshingly different approach. His whole philosophy is really about providing less but better. Rather than just firing off those quick, one-sentence replies to life's toughest questions, he focuses on giving in-depth biblical answers and real actionable direction. He wants to actually sit with the text, sit with your question, and figure it out together.
Let's move to Section 2 and see how this builds. 3 pillars of faith, the core foundation of the ministry.
These 3 pillars really dictate the flow and intention behind everything Pastor Brian teaches. The very first one is pastoral counseling. Let's be real, life gets incredibly tough, and this pillar addresses that reality head-on. It focuses on getting biblical truth and divine perspective so members can find genuine comfort in the middle of every storm. It's essentially digital pastoral help for your toughest challenges, giving you the theological grounding you need to weather whatever is going on in your world.
And that perfectly sets up the next step, Bible study and discipleship. Because once you're grounded, it's time to grow, right? This pillar is completely dedicated to growing as a follower of Jesus. It's about deep, verse-by-verse reading of the Bible to actually understand it in its proper context. We're not talking about casual reading here. It's about engaging with theology, learning how to interact with our modern culture, and fostering significant personal growth through really careful, detailed study.
The third and final pillar is missional empowerment. The crucial shift here is that the focus turns from the internal to the external. The ministry emphasizes that at the end of the day, it isn't all about us. This pillar is designed to help you discover your unique calling, mobilizing you to live out your highest purpose for God's kingdom. It's all about taking that comfort and that deep biblical knowledge and confidently stepping out as an empowered Christian.
Section 3. Deep dives and archives. This is where we look at a truly vast library of spiritual wisdom.
When we talk about this all-access program, we are talking about serious scale. The Empower Hour archive contains 101 distinct lessons. Think about that for a second. This isn't some quick weekend crash course. This is a massive, highly reliable archive of spiritual teaching that members can tap into whenever they need guidance on a very specific issue.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how that number translates. Those 101 lessons, they add up to 110 hours of accessible video content right inside the course. That is a comprehensively deep repository of in-depth topical teachings and live Q&A sessions ready whenever you are.
To give you a sense of what actually fills those 110 hours, the diversity of content is just incredible. You've got highly practical life coaching topics like money management, sitting right alongside deeply spiritual pursuits like hearing God's voice. And it scales all the way up to heavy theological concepts like understanding the Holy Trinity. It even includes multi-hour, verse-by-verse studies on entire books of the Bible like Ephesians and 1 Peter. The breadth of topics is intentionally designed to cover almost any question a believer might possibly have.
Section 4. The all-access experience. Moving beyond just the public broadcasts.
We've seen what's taught, but how does all access actually elevate the user experience? Well, a standard viewer might just watch the public archives on their own time, but an all-access member gets something way more interactive. Backstage entry to live broadcasts. You can submit your questions directly to Pastor Brian during live chats. Plus, you get entry into a private spam-free members area where you can discuss these topics safely with like-minded believers. It's a real community.
What's really cool is that the platform's digital features are built around deep empathy for the user's journey. Take the clickable timestamps, for example. If you're going through a crisis and you need an immediate answer, you can jump right to the exact topic you need without having to blindly scrub through hours of footage. Ad-free viewing ensures there are 0 annoying interruptions during sensitive, deep Bible study. And downloadable shows? That means you can take this pastoral guidance with you on the go, viewing or listening completely Wi-Fi free. They have genuinely thought about how to respect the viewer's time and emotional state.
Section 5. Finding real biblical clarity. Let's look at the actual human impact of all this.
To really ground all of these features and these hundreds of hours of content in reality, just listen to this quote from a member named Sarah Pfuffer. She says, "It's been helpful to hear the perspective of another Christian who's strong in faith. I appreciate hearing out loud your thought process." And that right there is the crucial takeaway. Members aren't just being handed a rigid list of rules. They are getting the immense value of watching a pastor reason through complex life problems and theological questions biblically, out loud, and in real time. It's a modeled thought process that teaches you how to think, not just what to think.
Which brings us to the end of our explainer today and leaves us with one final, deeply personal question to consider. What step are you ready to take next in your discipleship? Whether you are actively seeking comfort in a storm, maybe wanting to dive deep into the book of Ephesians, or trying to discover your own missional calling, frameworks like the Empower Hour are built to guide that journey. I really hope this clarified how structured, biblical digital communities operate today to provide genuine answers. Keep learning, keep asking great questions, and we will see you in the next explainer.